Gonna have to get the days back in my head before going back to uni soon. It's a lovely Tuesday evening. How is everyone doing? Welcome to SC2Improve Team League America. I'm Wardy, your host tonight, as always, and we're going to go into a best of 7 all kill tonight between zeez and Integrity Gaming, the final match for both of these teams in the SC2Improve Team League America. As unfortunately neither are going to be able to make it to the playoffs. So this is their final match of the league, of season 1 of this competition, and yeah, I mean, these two teams, as we're just waiting for the vetoes. Hang on, just have to check something. Okay, sorry. So these two teams, how have they been doing this season? Well, you know, pretty okay. zeez started the season with a surprise victory over Microgamers, and it kind of set the tone for the season for Microgamers. From there, Microgamers kind of didn't do as well as anyone expected them to. You know, the first week they were like, "Well, you know, you lost." And everyone was like, "Okay, we messed up. Microgamers messed up a bit," and then it just kept on going. So yeah, I mean, zeez really setting the first foot against Microgamers. They also have a victory against Miraculous Gaming, which was a forfeit win since Merg got removed from the league. And they also have a victory, I do believe, against Team Ascension from last week, where they took down Team Ascension's B team 4-3. So very exciting stuff. That's how zeez have been doing so far. So, you know, some great results and some mixed results. And Integrity are currently sitting at 5-3. But unfortunately for them, their map score is not as good as the map score of Team Gravity or No Dice Gaming. So whatever happens in this final week, whatever Integrity get, it's just not going to be enough to drag them up into the playoff positions, unfortunately. So it's kind of, again, it's kind of a little bit it's a little bit sad, but it's a little bit sad that, you know, Integrity can't make it, but we have got 3 very good teams advancing from Group A: Root Gaming, Gravity, and No Dice Gaming. Again, this is if my maths is right. I have to go do official counts of all the map scores to make sure that I'm correct, but I'm 99% sure that that is how it is, and we're just waiting here for our first videos to come in. Catalina is the first veto from Priest, who will be the player from Integrity Gaming starting here today. So we've got Priest on the way in from Integrity Gaming. He is a Zerg player, and again, going to be that starting player for Integrity. Little Miss Chibi is going to be Little Miss Chibi is going to be the starting player from zeez, and that's going to make this a PVZ to start things off here tonight. So going to be getting into this, guys, very, very soon, as we're just hoping to get our vetoes done and underway. So yeah, I'm pretty much just sitting here waiting for our map to be picked. So just before we start, I guess a quick word about our sponsors. Of course, Let's Kung Fu is our main sponsor. He sponsors us $500. He's a guy, and I just say this every time, he just loves StarCraft. He just wants to see more StarCraft tournaments. So if you want to check him out and say thank you and show your appreciation for his sponsorship of SC2Improve Team League America, you should head on over to his YouTube channel, youtube.com/filthyrake. And of course, our other sponsor is our peripheral sponsor, and that is Zowie Gear, and you can check them out at zowiegear.com. They make a bunch of awesome products. Headset, Zowie Mashu, it's a wonderful headset. I use a Zowie Celeritas as well as use a Zowie Mouse Bungee and a Zowie Miko. Great products. I could only recommend them or at least I could, if anything else. Yeah, so I you know, if you're looking for new equipment, I would recommend at least giving Zowie Gear a little check out. Again, you can check them out at zowiegear.com. So we're just waiting here, guys, to get started. So yeah, we're just waiting for vetoes to continue coming in here. And yeah, how's everyone in the chat doing? We've got Midland Penguin in here. Middling Penguin. This Gemini who's playing today is not the Chinese Gemini. There's two Geminis. If you Wikipedia Gemini, it comes up with a choice of the Chinese player or the American player, and this the American player Gemini, who plays for Integrity Gaming. How's everyone else doing in the chat? You guys have been a little bit quiet right now. Who are you guys supporting today? Do let us know. If you're watching on the Team Liquid and you don't have the chat open, do come along and open it up and be like, yo, what's up? I'm supporting Integrity, or yo, what's up? I'm supporting zeez today, as I'm looking for the map here, and it looks as though it's going to be Overgrowth to start things off here today on this best of 7 all kill. Again, sometimes I really feel like, why do we bother putting the veto system in here? We almost always end up starting on Overgrowth or something. So yeah, let's invite our players and get ready to go into this. So invite our managers as well, and if my lobby stops lagging, we'll be able to get into this. So, just resizing a couple of things, making sure we're all set to go. It's still very quiet in the chat, guys. Do say hello. You know, come introduce yourselves. SC Suede has hit the follow button already tonight, so our first follower before we even went live, actually. So that's impressive. Thank you, SC Suede, for your support. And if our teams are ready, we're going to go into this game, which is game number 1 here on Overgrowth, and it should be pretty good. Pretty good. We're just waiting for Priest to ready up, and we're going to get into this ZVP, ladies and gentlemen, to start off the evening. So, yeah. Priest is ready, so we're going to click the start game button and start loading on into this best of 7 all kill series. Map number 1, Overgrowth, here between Integrity Gaming and zeez. Getting started right about now. So, we're loading on in here onto Overgrowth, and let's see how this is going to go. Middling Penguin said hey, so at least one of you guys in the chat is talking. Come on, guys, let's have a great evening of chat activity. Why not? You know, you've got absolutely nothing to lose by coming in the chat and saying hello, unless I'm sure, okay, maybe you have something to lose, but yeah, hello Wake, there we go. Dipwood saying zeez there, here we go. The chat's livening up a little bit now. Don't you guys feel better for having a lively chat instead of just a dead game chat, right? Yeah? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just talking rubbish. Could I ask the American Gemini if the Chinese Gemini knows him? I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if he... well, I definitely could, but I don't think he will. Well, I guess he might for some reason, but... well, we'll find out. We've got the zeez crew coming in right now as Silly Men and Legime go for the zeez chants in the chat, or chants/types. In the upper right hand corner, the yellow cross player to start off from zeez. It's Little Miss Chibi. Hopefully I'm saying Little Miss Chibi correctly, and not too badly. As in the lower left hand corner we have the purple Zerg player from Integrity Gaming, Priest, to start us off here tonight. So let's see, 12 minutes past 1, so we're actually only well, you know, actually, no, honestly, 12 minutes is not so bad. It's not that late to be starting, actually. So, it's pretty good going, in all honesty, right now. So, yeah, it's, you know, sometimes we have these matches, and then, you know, teams, first of all, they turn up 5 minutes late, and then they take 5 minutes to pick the first player, and then they take another 5 minutes to veto, and then when we get in the lobby, it's like, BRB, go in toilet, and then you're like, okay. And then one player comes back, and the other guy's like, hang on, now I need to go to the toilet. So it's like, okay, you know, guys, come on. So we're going away here. Had a pretty nice time, as we also have Middling Penguin hitting the follow button on the chat, and ooh, Priest losing his drone here on the low ground, and a little bit of a shame there, losing his drone, trying to block that nexus as long as he could, but not quite able to achieve too much. So, apparently zeez is an awful team, and they got let into the tournament. Hehehehe. I see what you're trying to do, talking yourselves down. I bet this is all just smack talks that then you guys go 4-0. You can be like, God, this Integrity team must suck. Anyways, let's see what happens. I mean, already we've got a this drone actually chasing away a probe right now, as the drone is just going to go and throw down a third hatchery here. Free hatch, no gas. Kind of standard against forward expands. This is a Nexus first into gateway, so you can get away with it. Of course, a little bit scary maybe if the Protoss player does opt to go for some kind of 4-gate pressure, but you know, that's something for Priest to worry about, you know, at a later point. So Ling's starting to spread all over the place, and funnily enough, they go off hunting for probes, and the probe runs straight past and heads up in the main base. Queen on the way to I thought the Queen was on the way to greet that with some attacks there, but nope. Probe gets straight on into the main and gets to see absolutely everything. Actually sees there's still no gas up, and we'll probably now be able to make it over towards the third base to confirm that that is on the way up as well, if you would like. Pretty nice map vision from Priest. Has these Lings on each of the towers, and Overlord's heading into position so they can scout later in the game what kind of tech is coming out of the Protoss player, and yeah, a couple of Lings actually coming through the middle of the map trying to catch this probe, but probe should be able to make it away. There's one lit Zergling's just going to try and catch it, but again, it's just not quite going to be enough here, as we have a Forge coming down on the low ground, so nothing too aggressive in the end here from Little Miss Chibi. Just going to let the Zerg player get away with this gasless opening, and just going to go start teching herself, or you know, I kind of feel like I should say herself because it's Little Miss, so I don't know, but I probably is a guy, statistically speaking. No offense if it is a girl, but probably is a guy. So yeah, I mean, he's just gonna go start getting his upgrades here and heading into his own mid game, and you know, whatever plan that may be there for the Protoss player. So a couple of Lings are actually gonna make their way out now. We're gonna be able to get out here and come back home if they would so like, or just head out to different places on the map, and one Zergling being left here to spot anything coming out of the main ramp, and the other Zergling looking as though it's being sent around to watch for third base coming down. So sentries are starting to tickle away out of Overlord, which is actually going to make it away for now, and we're still yet to see any kind of tech come and hit the map, and still no gas is being taken out of the natural lever, so we could very well, I suppose, see just a very fast third base from our Protoss player. And as I say that, the probe is on the way out towards this third base, and plonks it right down just there. So third base nice and quick from our Protoss player, kind of matching the fast free base from the Zerg. And you know, the next steps probably for the Protoss player will be to get Twilight Council and Blink as well as +2. I mean, that's pretty much the go-to way to hold these kind of bases. You know, wall in a cannon over here as well. Add on some gateways. Could also see the robot facility coming down, see some immortals coming out, because generally you see the roaches come out first from the Zerg player. Just adding on a bunch of gateways right now is our Protoss getting ready to go into this kind of free base economy already, making sure there's going to be more than enough production up to get enough units out to defend if needed. As we see on the other side of the map, Priest throwing down a couple of evolution chambers. Couple of evolution chambers coming down, and 12 Zerglings on the way as well. And Zergling speed just on the way as well as that there. So pretty standard stuff, as we do begin to see a push coming across the map here. So a lot of force fields, and I mean, this is just kind of a bit of light pressure, right? So you know, once he attacks here, he's just going to be able to recall if necessary, fall back. Twilight Council's on the way up, so I mean, +2 Blink will be on the way as well, most likely. And yeah, it's just a nice little bit of light pressure, force some units out here for free. A couple of force fields come down, and you know, some drones actually being pulled right now. Priest is going to try and just push this array right now. Don't really feel he's in that much of a rush to you know, really have to get rid of this. I think you know, he's got a lot of roaches on the way, a lot more Zerglings as well. Zergling speed's just finished up. I think he's got more than enough to turn this around. I guess he's a little bit worried about his base falling down here. Some more force fields continuing to come in. Roaches, he needs the rest of his roaches to kind of come and join, as there's drones actually being pulled once again into these sentries, and taking a lot of damage as more roaches continuing to come out. So he's lost every single drone on this third base. Will he be able to keep the third base alive? Roaches are kind of coming in a couple at a time. And, well, Little Miss Chibi is going to be able to take down this third base without much of a problem here. A couple of roaches going to fall, and, I mean, just sticking around as long as he can. Third base goes down. And little Miss Chibi just going to recall out of there now. And some pretty serious damage taken by Priest at the start of this game. Immediately he begins to launch himself back across to the other side of the map. Going to look for an opportunity to maybe do some damage on the counter-attack, but pretty unlikely. I mean, a Photon Overcharge is available on the Mothership core. I guess there's not that many force fields. 22 workers killed in total here. And Priest just wasn't quite ready for this. You know, if he'd had a round of roaches out a little bit sooner, this could have been a lot different. And of course, behind this, Little Miss GB's just probed up to 70 workers. And again, I don't feel like that push is necessarily designed to fully kill the third base. I think it's more designed to get across the map, do a little bit of, you know, do a tiny bit of, you know, damage for some units and stuff like that. But you know, killing the third base is an added bonus if the Zerg player isn't quite prepared for it. And now we have a ton more gateways coming in, and this is just going to be kind of mass blink stalker style of play, you know, on and on off of these three bases. We're not going to see any other kind of tech here. It's just going to be mass blink stalker, heading to +3 as well, and just keep on making stalkers and attack pretty much as soon as these gateways finish up, I would imagine, or +2 and blink finishes up, most definitely. You know, there's no real reason for Little Miss GB to wait too much longer than for those upgrades to finish, because I mean that's the point at which it's going to be strongest. Priest will see this army moving out with the changeling, which is in tow with the army right now. And I mean, he's just in a bit of trouble because Little Miss GB up on 80 probes is, you know, got absolutely nothing to worry about in terms of economy. He can just warp in units, and as long as he trades kind of decently, he's going to be in a good position here. The Roach is cleaning out some zealots on that third base. We're just still on pure mass Roach right here. So again, once, you know, that +2 kicks in, now that blink has already come in here, we're going to get in this scenario where these roaches are going to try and trade, but they're not going to be able to trade all too well, especially if the blink micro is good from our Protoss players. These roaches start to come in the ramp, a nice couple of force fields, allowing only a couple of roaches to come in at a time here. Some more roaches coming in from behind, but now trying to back off, waiting for the rest of the roaches to try and get up that ramp. And, well, actually Priest sending a few roaches up the map to try and counterattack here. We'll run into maybe some reinforcements. They may just bypass each other, as Priest is actually now looking to come in from behind and try and catch up with these stalkers. Won't be possible, of course, with the blinks available. And, well, these roaches on the way into the natural actually have a pretty decent chance of doing something at least. Some stalkers already being warped in, though, to begin dealing with this +3 and robot facility now on the way, as the roaches continue to come across the map here from Priest. So he's looking as though he just wants to continue forwards and take out as much as he can. He takes down one more pylon here, but again, I mean, that's not really any kind of major damage. He's still 20, well, even 30 workers behind right now. You know, Little Miss GB probably on more workers than he needs, but, I mean, still, I mean, the longer this goes on, the faster he's going to get the money to max out, and the faster he's going to get money to rebuild an army, which means he can just trade and trade and trade. I mean, the gateways here just acting as a bit of a choke, and of course these roaches just going to have to leave almost immediately here. And Little Miss GB just left with all these stalkers, continuing to build stalkers. The robot facility being used for nothing other than observers right now. Roaches burrowed over here, but as the observer must be overhead, yeah, as the observer's overhead, they're going to have to get out of there. So, I mean, just not really able to find the damage he needs to be doing. I mean, only 2 workers killed overall. Roaches are going to try and come up here. They're going to get force fielded surely, and well, there's a couple of force fields to make them come through a couple at a time. These stalkers are just going to start blinking backwards here, and again, +2 against +1 isn't going to end too well for our Zerg player, and GG is called. Game number 1 goes in favour of Rip Zeez. I guess, I mean, looking at the scores coming into looking at the scores from the league so far coming into this, you'd probably say Rip Zeez are the underdogs, you know. So Zeez taking first map here, and Integrity falling down to a 0-1 score in this best of 7 all kill. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Do let us know in the meantime who you are supporting in the chat. When we come back, we'll be doing a little bit of shout outs to anyone who's you know, supporting people and stuff like that, and getting into game number 2. So we're going to go get that second player and map set up, and when we're back, game 2 of Rip Zeez versus Integrity Gaming from SC2Improve Team League America. To game number 2 of Rip Zeez versus Integrity Gaming, we're going to go into this second map right now. It's going to be King Sejong Station. It's going to be a TVP now, as I'm Eurotrash comes out for Integrity Gaming to try and even up the series after taking after Priest took a loss in game number 1. Currently up 1-0 is the player from Rip Zeez in the upper left hand corner, Little Miss Chibi. Opening with double gas play here in this PVT. Could lead to a few things, a faster tech being obviously the most obvious thing to say. I mean, but what could that exactly be? It could be some kind of proxy Stargate, but it could also just be a Stargate in the main. It's actually only 2 workers on each gas right now, so it could just be for the mothership core and a quick stalker and sentry out, stuff like that. You know, a lot of options here for our Protoss players. In the lower right hand corner, we have the red Terran player who's opening with a Reaper expand. It's going to be I'm Eurotrash from Integrity Gaming. Alright, guys, so let's see what game number 2 is going to bring us. I mean, not really much else to say other than that. PVT, King Sejong, not you know, PVT on King Sejong, it's not kind of you know, favoured in any certain way. It's kind of good for drops because you can come into the natural quite easily and get out quite easily, and you can get into the, you know, the sides of the main bases quite nicely as well. So that's pretty nice, as this Reaper does find this probe and gets the first blood here on King Sejong Station. So yeah, I mean, a couple of opportunities to you know, drop in this on this map, more so than other maps maybe. The third base is pretty standard, you know, there's a couple of choke points coming in on either side, so it's pretty easily defended for a Protoss player. The real thing to note about this map is the 4th base, and whether you take it over to the side or whether you take it in a forward position and, you know, try and always just rally forward. And I mean, in PVT you don't really usually see units like rallying forward, and, you know, it's not that kind of matchup, so usually it's them sideways bases which are taken, and, you know, that's when drops can really start and run bys can really start to do some damage and pay off as the game goes on. So our Reapers are going to get deflected from this main base here pretty quickly. We still haven't seen any kind of tech choice here from our Protoss player. He's got quite a lot of gas banked up though. No pylons out on the map, as a couple of barracks come up to follow up this initial opening from our Terran. A couple of Marines already out here, and it's just going to be the robotics facility from Little Miss Chibi. So, you know, from the standard tech trees, from the 3 standard tech choices, it's just going to be what I would say is the most standard of all, the robo facility. I mean, usually even, you know, the robo facility is the one you see pretty much every game no matter what. Even if you open Stargate, you generally follow it up with a pretty quick robotics facility. Even if you open Twilight Council, unless you're going really all in, you generally follow it up with a robo facility, because the robo facility is your way into detection, it's your way into splash damage through Colossus. You know, the robo facility is the core tech of the Protoss, so no surprise to see it coming down early here. He's not going to try any fancy stuff, not going to try to do any kind of quick damage with oracles or anything like that. Just going to go straight into some observers, some map vision, and most likely a robo bay in the near future with a couple of forges to follow it up with. So Reaper's actually going to get killed off here. Pretty nice scout though. I mean, sees pretty much everything you could want to see. Robo facilities. I mean, he's seen all the pylons in the main base, so he sees there's nothing kind of hidden. Knows there's nothing coming his way that could potentially kill him, and actually now takes that opportunity to start to move across the map. We actually have an Immortal on the way, Corona boosting this out, and you know, this is a little bit like what Cess did against Flash on Catalina in Game 1 of the Grand Finals of IEM. Corona boosting out this Immortal and having the potential to be aggressive. No Robo Bay just yet though, which means that, you know, he's not looking to tech into Colossus, and he may just go for some kind of 2-base push just using Immortals. This was a bit of a mistake, using the Time Warp instead of waiting for a full overcharge. He thought he could kill these Marines, but now he's in a little bit of trouble here, honestly, as we have this group of Marines microing back and forth, starting to die off now. Unfortunately, didn't quite get a sentry, but the mothership core kill is pretty big as well, as a second Immortal comes out. So, I mean, this is just going to be a straight up Immortal burst, not going to bother going into Colossus. It's just going to be a 2-base push with Colossus. Is that probe trapped in there? Potentially. Scan comes down, Corona boost on the robo facility. I don't think, I mean, he already knows one Immortal's out, and if he sees another being Corona boosted, which he just caught the glimpse of at the end there, then it's very possible that he knows what's coming. And look at that, actually already 2 bunkers being added on the bunker on the other side as well, so he's getting ready for this. Is 2 bunkers going to be enough? Well, I don't know. I mean, Immortals are pretty darn good at breaking through bunkers, so we'll have to see. But for now, I think it's a pretty good start in terms of, you know, if we're looking to see a defense here from our Terran player, I think he's definitely going in the correct direction. So, third bunker on the way right now as well, so I mean, you can really tell he knows this is coming on. Looks like the Protoss player is going to focus his attention towards the right hand side of the Terran base though. He's going to be looking to take down these rocks and to try and come in from this angle. A nice scan here from I'm Eurotrash, takes down the observer from the high ground, which makes it a little bit scary for Little Miss Chibi to attack into at any point. You know, he doesn't know exactly what he's walking up into anymore, compared to before when he had perfect vision of exactly what he was about to go into. And I mean, here we go. I mean, these rocks are going to start getting taken down. The SCVs need to get pulled and start donating around this you know, around this bunker as fast as they can here. That being said, I mean, Stimpack has finished, and it's all going to come down to the force fields here. There's 3 Immortals, and here we go, stimming immediately. The Zealots start running up, but they're just going to get decimated. The Sentries are going to go pretty much straight away afterwards, and, well, these 3 Immortals in the back, they're going to start taking down well, they're just going to start taking down units here. As the bunker now does fall. But with some more SCVs, I think he's going to just be able to clean this up because there's so many Marines left over. The Immortals are going to start falling here as well. There's nothing left to tank for them. And he's just going to start targeting these down. It's actually going to still be very close. Mothership Core is in the back of the Natural doing a little bit more damage. Stir stepping forward. He's going to just get one more Immortal. Is there enough left over here for Iron Eurotrash to keep on fighting? Yes, there is. And he's going to fill a bunker with some more units. And with only 1 Immortal left over. Excuse me, I'm sneezing. Oh my god. With only 1 Immortal left over, I mean, it's kind of hard to get the DPS you need, because now as that Immortal falls, there's only going to be Gateway units left, and as Stalkers fall here left and right, and in the middle too even, I mean, there's very little left over for Lil Mischievy to push on forward with. Starting to probe up behind this to maybe try and transition out. I mean, I guess he's forced to lift on the Natural of the Terran player. He's killed a fair few workers as well, 18 in total. But the one problem is there's no kind of splash damage here in this game, so there's no real way for the Protoss player to hold off. Once the Terran player, you know, realizes the Natural, starts mining again, and really starts to mass up on these units. I mean, we're literally talking about stimmed bio with a bunch of medevacs going to just be stimming into this Protoss space. And the Mothership Core doesn't have energy. If Robo Bay is only just starting, we haven't even seen any more Immortals come out of this Robo facility. Just right now, there's literally just Gateways units to defend the next few attacks. And I mean, look at this, more medevacs on the way across. I mean, 4 medevacs is a scary number. That's like a crazy amount of healing. And again, I mean, I just don't think he's going to be able to take this down without any form of splash damage or, you know, anything past, you know, anything that's past gate. You know, he needs something more than gateway units right now. And we're even going to see these units just load up into some medevacs, and they're just going to drop into the main base, and that could be painful too, because this Robo Bay is in a pretty bad position. If you talk about being dropped, I mean, dropping here by Robo Bay, goodbye Colossus production. As the Robo Bay does finish, he can start his first Colossus now, but doesn't even have the gas to really do it. Okay, he's actually, because he's already queued 1 Colossus up. But still, I mean, going to just drop in here. The Robo Bay is definitely going to be the first target. And at the same time, there's just well, actually not that many units, but a couple of units here looking for an opportunity to move in if they get it. And Zealots now kind of running through a choke point, just going to take loads of damage, and they might not even be enough to clean this up here as the Zealots continue to fall as the bio just kites away. Stalkers are trying to target down the medevacs, but I mean, they're just not dying. One of the medevacs might die, but the bio units will not die. GG's just called right here and then. And Lil Miss Chibi taps out to give I'm Eurotrash and Integrity their first point of the day, evening up this series 1-1 right now. And just like that, we're back. Well, Integrity Gaming are back into it. I'm Eurotrash. Pretty simple hold there. Good scouting, good scans. Not afraid to use the scans to find out what's going on. Held, counterattacked, classic anti-Protoss all in. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break once again here, but when we're back, game number 3 of zeez vs Integrity Gaming will be on the way. In the meantime, you can check out our website, SC2Improve.net, for more information about the SC2Improve Team League and our other events, if that sounds interesting to you. Again, that's SC2Improve.net. Guys, we'll be back in 3 minutes' time with game number 3 between zeez and Integrity Gaming. Again, in the meantime, let us know how you're all doing in the chat. Give us some cheers, and let us know what who you're supporting and who you want to see take some maps here today. Waiting for the next player to be picked from zeez after losing that next game, and as I say that, we're going to go into Nimbus. So we're just going to host up Nimbus right now, create the game, and get ready to jump on into this. Set the stuff as no build order, set as a 1v1, and invite our players into this. Jowj is going to be the next player out from zeez, going up against, again, I'm Eurotrash. As we look to find the rest of the players. There's one of them, the managers even, and there's the other. And if we're all set to go, we should be ready to go into a TVZ here on Nimbus. Just going to ask the players if they're ready, and if they are, we're going to jump straight on into this, guys. So, as they are ready, I'll just start up, let the countdown go down, and see what this game is going to bring us. I mean, interested to see how these guys open. We've seen a fair few Terran players, or I've seen a fair few Terran players opening Command Center first, just because of how the map works with the in-base expansion. A lot of Zerg players have been doing interesting things as well. One of the more interesting things I would say is going hatch first outside of your base, going hatch first at what would be usually your natural third, and then going for a very fast third base in the in-base expansion, so that you get the creep down very quickly on the low ground, and you can push forward with that and spread the creep very quickly, from that point onwards. So we've been seeing that a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see if anything like that kind of happens here. It is 1-1 in this best of 7 all kill. So without any further ado, guys, we're just going to jump into this game. We're actually going to start off with our green Zerg player in the bottom right hand corner of this map. It is going to be from Rip Zeez. It's George. And his opponent right now is the player who took game number 2 against Little Miss GB. It's Integrity Gaming's I'm Euro Trash. Alright, so supply deal gonna come down here to begin things off, as we would expect. Overlord's on the way as well, and so no sneaky early pool shenanigans or anything along those lines yet. As George opens up with good luck, have fun, lovey. And yeah. So I mean, these guys have been nice to each other at the start of this game. Having a little laugh with each other and being very inappropriate. And look at that, we actually do have the hatch first coming down the low ground here, so George is going to open up with this. So, yeah, I mean, interested to see how this plays out. We are going to see a command center first as well from our Terran player. As, apparently it's nudie season. Can I speak louder just a bit? I can definitely try to speak louder just a bit, and hopefully it'll be loud enough to for you guys to hear me a bit better. If I am a little bit quiet, I don't know what I can do actually if I'm too quiet, because I mean, this is what I'm usually like. This is how loud I usually am. If it's that everything else is too loud compared to me, then I can definitely turn down other things. So guys, if the sound is an issue, please do let me know. I will try and fix it as soon as I can. So we do have the Overlord from George coming in and spotting at the command center first. I'm Eurotrash did not quite see that Overlord, so he doesn't know where his opponent is just yet. The first SCV actually heading up to the top left hand corner. Of course, he won't find anything up there, and he won't find anything in the bottom left hand corner either. As George is now getting his gas up, he's going to get into metabolic boost quite quickly here. And yeah, so we've got Jowserman in the chat asking what leagues these guys are. George is, I think I'm Eurotrash is actually Grandmaster. Now that you've actually asked me, I've completely forgotten. I think, yeah, they're both High Master definitely, as New Chelsea is responding. If not GM, I'm pretty sure I'm Eurotrash is GM. I say cautiously. I'm starting to doubt myself now. Now I feel a little bit bad. Anyways, so as Zergling speed starts up here, we really see one worker left in gas. So maybe just starting to save up for a fast lair, maybe starting to save up for his upgrades. What I'm again most interested in is just when does he take this base over here? Because right now he is a little bit punishable because it's it's a little bit further to get between here and here to defend from Reapers, etc. Of course, that's not an issue in this game. So I guess we're actually just going to see kind of George play out a very standard game. He's just going to take his third base whenever he sees fit inside of the natural expansion. And yeah, he's going to be able to just push his creep forward from here. And of course, because he already kind of gets a jump start, he's going to go forward very, very rapidly. And considering his opponent's in the northeastern position, that creep's actually going to be on the Terran's doorstep very soon. So it's going to be very important for I'm Eurotrash to look to defend that throughout this game. As we actually see a couple of barracks on the way down here, just off of 2 CCs. And it's not every day you actually see three barracks on 2 command centers and a TVZ. So let's wait and see what else is going to happen here. I wonder if he's maybe just going to go and try and go for some kind of drop play or something with Stimpack or some kind of timing like that, because again, not getting the third command center quickly is a little bit you know, interesting, a little bit different in TVZ. I mean, almost always you see that third command center come down you know, somewhat soon in the game. So we have the third base on the way for Jowge again. That's going to be at what is his natural expansion, so he's just going to start taking this here. And again, the reason he's done this is just so he can get the creep spread going a little bit faster, because if you imagine he was just starting to creep spread now, it kind of just be just at the front here, so it'd just be starting to creep out here, whereas now he's actually all the way up here already, kind of like halfway up the map with the creep spread. So it's a nice little thing as the Hellions are going to start moving around and looking for an opportunity to maybe get a couple of kills and get a couple of pot shots in. They're going to work forward here and have to be careful not to get surrounded. Them Lings are going for it, like really going for it. And oh, he stops, and oh, that one Hellion is very fortunate not to be caught off just there. So Hellion does survive as creep continues to spread from Ripzeez's Jowge, and an evolution chamber on the way down here as well. So Evo on the way down, and the creep will continue spreading up the right hand side of the map right now. And yeah, I mean, just in general, it looks as though our Zerg players getting all set to go into the next stages of the game. Double evolution chamber, a Bane Nest on the way down. We're going to see a lair probably start up in the next minute or so. And I mean, the Bane Nest may be a bit early. It's you know, it's here just in case. And I mean, he will actually use it. I say it's a bit early. It's actually a great time considering what his opponent's going for, which is this one big attack with a bunch of Marines stimmed and a bunch of Hellions as well. So this is actually going to work out pretty well for him. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen an armory being added on here. Have we actually seen an SCV pull? Is he actually just going for one huge all in here? I think he is, but if Jowge just makes enough Banelings, it shouldn't even bother him for slightest of seconds. I mean, everything's just going to get decimated by Banelings here. More Lings are on the way. It's been very well hidden so far, though. And there's no Banelings on the way just yet. Now he sees a lot of Hellions coming forward, and these Marines and these SCVs as well are going to be a big issue for him to deal with. As 14 Banelings do now start up, 12 Zerglings on the way in the production tab as well. Queens and Drones going to try and evacuate this third base as best as he can. He's got a Spine Crawler here, which he can try and hold on to. He's got a Transfuse, and he will use that to get at least one more hit off on the Spine Crawler. But I'm Eurotrash, looking to just end this game pretty much now, as we're going to see Banelings coming in. They're only slow Banelings, but they're going to come in nonetheless, and they're going to start connecting, and the Terran army just absolutely disappears. And, well, that's why you make a quick Baneling Nest, I guess. That's why you don't be greedy. And I mean, what was I talking about? This Baneling Nest, oh, this Baneling Nest too early. And then the Baneling Nest is just on time to save the day, as these Zerglings are going to clean up everything else. Of course, having pulled the SCVs, the Terran player isn't on that great of an economy himself anymore. Another Hellbat morphing in, gets one shot off before it's picked off, and another Marine streaming across the map. Marines just getting picked off as they come, basically streaming across the map. Finally, these Lings get cleaned up. The Terran player sits about 10 workers, 11 workers behind. I mean, not too bad of a situation, but he doesn't have a third base on the way. And it doesn't look as though he's thinking about going into the later parts of this game either. I mean, we don't see any combat shields started up, if less I'm mistaken. No combat shields, no engineering base, so there's nothing for him to really kind of continue onwards in this game with. And I'm Eurotrash realizes the game is over, and Ripzee is taking another game here. As, that's it, 2-1. And just like that, Ripzee's back in the lead. Some nice, quick, simple games here tonight. In all honesty, you know, nothing too complex, nothing, you know, going on for too long. Just simple games, you know, early game decisions being, you know, either detrimental or, you know, game winning here. And I mean, just basically 3 early attacks. I mean, in the first PvZ we saw the Blink all in more or less. Well, the 5-gate push, which basically ended the game, and then we saw the Blink player come out. In the second game, we saw the Immortal all in, and in the third game there, the Marine SCV Hellion all in. And yeah, GGs were had. Game 3 now over. Game 4 will be on the way after this quick commercial break once again. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, I do urge you to hit the follow button so you can come out and check more of our content again in the future. And you can also check us out on Twitter at SC2_Improve if you want to know when we're going live, what we're casting, what's happening, and that kind of stuff. So do make sure to check us out on Twitter. And we'll be back after this quick break once again. Enjoy the music. Game 4 is on the way. Gaming. How is everyone doing out there in the chat? Good to see that we've got nice chat going. We've got some pretty active peeps in here. A lot of Ripzee's guys in here. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Shoutouts to a few people who are hitting the follow button. Dipwood, who's going root for zeez. So rooting for some rip zeez here. And Nick Jones 83 as well, also hitting that follow button. Thank you both for your support, guys. And yeah, I mean, of course, hitting the follow button. Well, let's talk about it once we've introduced our players. In the upper right hand corner of Catalina, we've got the champion from game number 3. Heading into game number 4, it's the green Zerg player from Rip Zeez, it's George. And his opponent in the lower right hand corner, the teal Protoss player from Integrity Gaming, it's Gemini. So yeah, I mean, obviously following the channel is one of the best ways to keep up with what we're doing. It lets you know when we go live, you're more likely to see when we go live, so you can come back and check us out and you know, check us out again in the future. You know, if you really enjoy the content, if you really enjoy the clan wars and you know what we're doing, you know, in the league and stuff like that, there's other ways you can support us as well. As we do have a bunch of Zerglings on the way over here, 6 lings and now 7 and 8 in the production tab still. Going up against this, going up against the Nexus first. These lings are actually maybe going to do quite some time. Was this an early pool? Am I being retarded here? Oh my god, it was. How retarded am I? I'm literally stupid. Here's me talking utter shit, and we've got like an early pool on the way, and lings like pouring out. Like, I just don't even have words for myself. I'm like, this is a bit early for some Zerglings. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm an absolute idiot. So we've got an early pool here from George, and it's working quite well against Gemini so far, who has opened with a Nexus first into a gateway. Wow, I can literally only apologise for my own, you know, my own lack of attention, I suppose. As we have a first zealot on the way out here, probes microing desperately to try and catch some of these Zerglings which are darting in and out. Nexus on the low ground continues to fall. Here's 6 Zerglings working away at that, and again there's these 4 in the main base as well. Gemini is in a lot of trouble here. He's going to lose, I mean, he's up 10 workers. Could just 4-gate behind this, potentially. Definitely a possibility as the Cybernex score is going to come down. Probe's starting to fall. This is what you can't let happen. However, that's what's going to become more of a problem once more lings come into this main base. I mean, already just 4 lings are doing such a great job, and Gemini actually having... Oh, was his zealot trapped in there? So he had to cancel the Cybernex score. That just sucks, doesn't it? And... I mean... Zealot's actually just going to go down here, and probes are going to fall as well. There's a few nice around, though. He takes down the rest of these Zerglings. What's going on? Well, he's down by a single probe. I guess it's not that bad. The hatchery's finished for George. I think right now is the moment where you kind of right now is the kind of moment where you just say to yourself, okay, all in, or what do I do? He starts up his warp gate tech. George coming across here with this overlord. I mean, I guess he's still okay in terms of economy. He's still 20 workers against 18, so it's not that bad for our Protoss player just yet. And yeah, I mean, I guess he could just build up to the next expansion. The worst thing is he lost this expansion. That's 400 minerals early in the game, which is, I mean, it's 400 minerals early in the game, which is just like gone. You know, you're not getting them back, and that's quite a significant number. If you look at resources lost, 737 to 250. It's a huge disparity for only being so, you know, in this game for such a short time. I mean, how many minerals are these guys mining a minute? It's like literally the difference of a whole minute of mining right now. And the Zerg players, he continues to make more harvests here. He's going to get further and further ahead in this economy. Sentry on the way out right now. Stalker going to try and take down this Overlord as a Mothership Core is basically going to try and protect the front. And I guess it's just going to be an expansion on the way because the probe's going down to the low ground. And is going to become able to come over here and throw down this Nexus. In just a moment or two, these lings are going to come into the main base and try and scout. The most important thing they're looking for right now is any kind of all-in on the way. You know, just any kind of all-in on the way at all, and he sees absolutely nothing. He sees no extra gateways or anything like that. So he's probably going to be thinking to himself, wow, I'm actually pretty safe right now. It starts up an evolution chamber, actually starts up his lair after seeing this as well. And that roach one's already on the way in case he needed some roaches. So yeah, right now we see some rocks being added, being taken down, and finally it looks as though Gemini is going to be able to establish his base on the low ground, but no doubt is he behind where he will usually like to be. Misplaces his gateway as well, and it seems as though this just isn't the game for him, as he started the Forge also. So just looking to go for a longer game right now. Seems to just be saying to himself, I don't think I can win this if I move across the map anytime soon. Just going to start building up my upgrades, start building up for the later game, and seeing what happens. I mean, Jouge is just starting to take control of the map, however. He's starting to get some more lings out in here. Metabolic Boost is about to finish, so that them lings going to be all over the place very soon. Creep going to be able to spread in 3 different directions. And, I mean, it's going to be over near the Protoss base before the Protoss really has the opportunity to move out at all here. I mean, we're 9 minutes in the game, we're only seeing the robot facility and the +1 starting up now. It's, well, it's troublesome. It's definitely troublesome, as the Hallucinated Phoenix is going to come in here, you're going to see the layers finished, and going to fly through here, and, I mean, there's not actually that much of attack on the map. There's only +1 in roach speed on the way. You know, potentially could see the Hydralisk Den coming in at some point if we're just going to see a roach Hydra composition. We have an Overseer coming through right now, and this Overseer is probably actually going to go down here. It's getting chased quite quickly. These sentries and Stalker right on the heels, and he's going to make sure he gets right up close, and the last hit actually just grabs it there. So Overseer does fall. Creep spread continues through the middle of the map. We're still just seeing kind of Roach Ling right now. Roach Speed's about to come in, and that +1 as well. So it looks like a Zerg player might try and move up this ramp a little bit. We've had the first Immortal just finish up and come out of this, so it looks as though he's just going to go for an Immortal all in the long run right now, as a second Immortal's already on the way. So the question is Jouge going to have enough to be able to just completely and utterly barrel through this? Because he's actually cut drones fairly early here to make these units when he hasn't really needed to. He's cut at kind of 41 workers, and he's you know, he's only just droned up now to 49, so he's been on a similar economy to the Pros player for the last minute or so. That does allow the Pros player to maybe catch up a little bit in terms of that economy gain, and well, right now I'm going to see another Immortal on the way out, or is it just going to be a Warp Prism? These Immortals trying to be hidden from another Overseer, which is on the way in here. A Changeling not moving forward at all. Overseer taking him to the back right now. Is it going to go down? It's so close, but it's just not close enough. Can the Stalker reach it? Does the Stalker outrange a sentry? It must, yeah. He only gets one more shot on it. Does a Stalker outrange a sentry? Of course a Stalker outrange a sentry. It's one of them days. If you guys watched, you know, you guys probably weren't, but if you saw me casting the Summer League qualifier earlier, this, like, you would have been like, what is this guy even talking about? Like, I was just talking absolute shit. Like, it's just been one of them days where I don't know what's happened, but I've just been so out of touch. It's been crazy. Anyway, this attack's coming across the map right now. The Warp Prism is on the way. A third Immortal coming across here too. With this army, so Gemini's going to get ready to go for the attack, but I mean, he's down, like, he's under half the supply of his opponent. And admittedly, his opponent is only on roaches, so there's still an opportunity for him here. Good force fields and Immortals can definitely rip these to pieces. And, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but, oh, there's a Burrow. Has we got an Observer? I'm sure he was killing off creep before. No, he must have just been an active creep tumor, so these roaches with burrowed movement are going to look to come forward here. And, oh, no, Gemini's is going to get destroyed. Surprise! Oh, well, I mean, I guess he can just use the recall. Yeah, that works too. I mean, he lost a fair few sentries there. 3 sentries. Forced to go back home. Now he has to go out and go for round 2. He's got an Observer this time. Force fields have to be good here, and oh, they really are actually really good. Observer is here as well, though. And this army's going to try and step back and trying to get the Immortals away right now. A lot of damage being done to the Zerg player, though. He's taking a lot of free damage from the fact that he's just burrowed, just kind of moving around, just sitting, you know, basically just taking all the damage onto him and not dealing any back as while he's burrowed and moving. So he's going to come up here. He's going to try and kill a pylon. Oh, the force field's just missing. If he could have cut like that right in half there. I mean, I guess, yeah, there's Burrow again, but he probably would have got a few extra kills. And, well, Gemini, the problem for him right now is that he's really running out of force fields. He's, you know, these sentries have got, let's just have a look through these sentries' energies. 1 force field, 2 force fields, 3 force fields. He's got 4 force fields available to him, and I mean, now we actually have Lings on the way, we have Hydras being added in as well, so it's not just the mass roach that was there initially from Jouge. It's a completely different composition. It's got the extra DPS in that you need. It's got the Lings to tank instead, you know, so it's got Lings to tank for the Hydras as well, so, you know, the Immortals aren't just ripping through roaches. And he's moving up here, he's cleaning out a lot of this creep, and just coming up this side of the map, and, well, are we going to see a fight anytime soon? I think, well, definitely going to see it sometime soon, because Jouge isn't just going to let him kind of walk away from this one again. Force fields, again, kind of miss, and we were just talking, he doesn't have that many of them. I mean, he's got a few more now, it's been another minute or so, but he's still not in the best of positions. He has some more creep going down, because Spankle are going to get cancelled here maybe, and Pros is going to commit forward. The force fields now, they are good force fields, completely cutting this army in half, so he can just take on half of it at a time. These roaches now trying to retreat, and Gemini's pushing forward. He's got 4 mortals, it's a scary army still coming in, and well, is it going to be enough for our Zerg player? These Immortals are still going to town, they are doing work right now, as Jouge is starting to actually hurt a little bit. He might be in a little spot of trouble. The drones are pulled him, well, and that's when you definitely know he's in a little bit of trouble. Stepping backwards here to just try and trade the best he can. Time Orb comes down, and this is really going to help him keep kiting away. More and more drones falling. We actually see the Zerg player coming dangerously close to the supply of the Protoss player. Another round of warp while Protoss cannot possibly be far away. It's going to be some more sentries coming in, but one of the Immortals has just fallen, and there's Hydras here, which add a lot of DPS. Nice pickups here, keeping these Immortals alive a little bit longer, but the Warp Prism goes down, and that means there's no more reinforcements. The supplies right now are dead even, as the Zerg player actually is only on 26 drones against 44 probes. Another Immortal now starting up in production. It sounds crazy, but we might still see the Protoss player just kind of clean this up, or be cleaned up, but come back, because he's actually got a better economy than a Zerg player right now. Back at home, he's actually already got a round of units. He's going to be able to make another round of units in a moment. He's already got 1 Immortal on the way. The one difference will be that the next time a similar fight happens, there'll be +2 for Jouge, and there'll only be +1 still for Gemini. You know, he's not continued into upgrades. So that's definitely going to be a bit of a factor there. Of course, it's going to take quite some. Again, the other problem is it's going to take quite some time to remake this many Immortals, a decent number of Immortals. As once again, Overseer and Shinshin coming through. Contamination on the robot facility does definitely help. Really kind of hurts him a little bit in terms of, you know, getting these Colossus out Immortals out as fast as he can. The composition of this army is just completely changing as well. Last time it was kind of Stalker, Sentry, Immortal. Now he doesn't have the gas to remake all that, you know, he can't remake just pure Stalkers or anything, he has to make so many Zealots here. As Zerg player's down in supply, he's spent a lot of time making drones just now. Now he has to really focus on making units again, and he needs these units pretty much now as the Warp Prism's on the way out, there's attacks coming across the map. And honestly, there isn't that much for Jouge, but will his upgrades be able to pull him through? He's still down a little bit in supply, a few more Zealots warp in. And the Warp Prism are going to be on the way here very soon. Look at this, he's checking around, looking for hidden bases. He's thinking, you know, how are you still in this game? And the answer is Protoss! As Gemini moves across the map here, the Warp Prism are about to get over here to help with some warp-ins. And this is it, this is the time, this is the one more fight which we've been waiting for. The Zerg player is about to even up on supply with the Protoss, but a lot of that's still in production. And the Protoss player is building up towards a warp-in cycle. Again, the one problem is these Zealots are not going to fare that great against Roach Hydra, especially if the Roach Hydra can kite away. And Gemini is really taking his time about this, and I'm just not too sure. I'm not too sure how much time he's really got to play with. As the Guardian Shield's going to pop, the Force Fields start to come down, and they're okay-ish. They're going to pick off the first few units. The Zealots are going to now be hurt by them, though. Not able to come forward. And there we go, going to start coming forward again. These Immortals in the back have so much work to do. A few Stalkers coming in. They actually take down an Overseer here. Is there too much Roach Hydra? I think there just is. I think there's just a little bit too much DPS. The Zealots have just melted. And, you know, past the Zealots, there's just not enough behind the Zealots, really. And, an Immortal goes down in the Warp Prism. GG is called, and Rip Zeez go to a 3-1 advantage right now in this best of 7. That's match point, actually. Match point right now for Rip Zeez in this best of 7. All kill. Integrity, again, I said they came into this as the favourites, mostly because of their, you know, their match score, their results going into this from the previous matches in the league. And, well, Jowge, he took an early advantage. It looked close after that first all in, but he just held on, and and the second hold was a lot easier and a lot smoother for him. So GG, well played, guys. We're going to do a quick commercial break. When we come back, game number 5 between Ripzeez and Integrity. As you guys are discussing the game a little bit in the chat. And so on. So hello to you all in the chat. If you are watching on TL and you're not in the chat, do make sure to come and jump on in. Come join the discussion. Let us know who you're supporting. And all of those wonderful things. And we'll be back here in a few moments' time, guys. Don't go too far. We'll be back. We're on match point for Ripzeez in this best of 7 all kill in SC2Improve Team League America. How you all doing? We're getting into this game. Deadwing will be our map for ZVZ. I'd like to very quickly just say, first of all, check if there's any Twitch followers to shout out, and if not, we'll be able to just carry on as normal. So no Twitch shoutouts to do. What I was trying to say in the start of the last game before I got rudely interrupted by an early pool and me realising that was an absolute idiot, was that if you're enjoying the show, do make sure to hit the follow button so you can come back and check out when we're live again. But if you're really enjoying the show, there's a couple of ways you can further help us out. If you you really enjoy the show and you have resources to spare, you can subscribe to us on Twitch, which gives you a bunch of benefits such as the subscriber badge, incoming chat emoticons. We're going to be releasing replays at the end of every month. We're going to be casting your replays, subscriber replays. We'll have subscriber nights as well, or you'll get priority on subscriber games, stuff like that. I don't know. Just the general subscriber stuff. But we're basically doing all of that. If you want more info, you can type !subscribe in the chat and find out absolutely everything which we're doing for our subscribers. And the other way you can do, to help us out as well is if you just want to donate. The link keeps getting spammed in the chat by Moobot every now and then. So if you do want to donate and you've got a little bit to spend, or a little bit to spare, and you actually can spare, of course, don't ever feel compelled to donate if you can't afford it. Then do make sure to check that out. But right now we're going into match point for Ripzeez as Jowge in the upper right hand corner, the green Zerg player, has been doing work. He took down I'm EU Trash, followed by Gemini just there on Catalina. So yeah, in the lower right hand corner of Deadwing, his map pick, the blue Zerg player Panda Bear Me, has a ghastly pool here very quickly from Jowge, so it looks as though he wants to just keep up the aggression in this game. And keep up the aggression of the last map in this game as well. Hatchery first, followed by a pool here by Panda Bear Me, who is the player from Integrity right now. Let's see what's gonna go down. We've got a crazy discussion going down in the chat about a bunch of stupid stuff about who's better than who and God knows what. Guys, who cares? Just enjoy the games. It's StarCraft. Can't we just all love StarCraft together? Can't we just love StarCraft together? I wish we could love StarCraft together. As first 6ling is going to come out here for Jowge, and he's going to be right down to that bottom side of the map. Panda Bear Me, I don't think he saw the Zerglings there, but he will now see the gas mine, and he'll see that more than 100's been mined, so immediately he's going to be like, whoa, spine crawler. Has to build a spine crawler pretty much immediately. I think that might be... Well, he's not building a spine crawler at all, actually. He's just making his own lings, so he's just going to try and hold on with, with what he feels as though is going to be enough. Okay, now he does start a spine crawler on the low ground. We'll see if this is going to be able to get up. I mean, the first few lings are on the way out. Zergling speed on the way, and that Banelin Nest is on the way as well. So, I mean, this aggression is going to ramp up here very quickly from Jowge. As he comes in, he's actually going to get a pretty decent trade at the start here, I would say. He's, fighting in that little bit of a choke point, makes it a pretty even fight no matter what. Now, actually, though, Panda Bear Me getting a good trade and getting rid of the majority of the Zerglings there of the green player. But reinforcements are hot on his heels. And, yeah, Jowge just coming along here with a few more Zerglings. Now he is going to try and wrap around here, and ooh, no, he's actually not going to try and wrap around. He's going to try and run by, but the Queen's in position. And them Zerglings not able to achieve all too much in the end here. So Panda Bear with a couple more queens on the way, they will help a lot in this defense. He's actually droning up a little bit too right now, but the Banelings are on the way in, 7 Banelings in total. And of course they're going to be able to take down this Spinecrawler very, very quickly here. The question is, will these queens be able to help out at all as well? A second Spinecrawler on the way too. There's an extra queen coming out, going to help injecting right now as these Zerglings looking to tank a couple of shots from the Spinecrawler and allowing the Banelings to get a little bit closer. And there we go, Baneling hits are huge to begin with. And they're going to take down everything very quickly here. Got to be careful on this ramp though, and the queens on the ramp are going to be actually more than enough to defend from now. And as you can see, I mean, Zhao just kind of lost everything. Like, it didn't work. He busted down the Spinecrawlers, but after that, there's just absolutely nothing left for him to do here. He doesn't have enough units. He gets, I mean, potentially the best Baneling hit he probably could have got there. There's just not going to be enough. He's got Maulings on the way in the production tab. He kills off a drone here, but he's actually 8 workers behind. These queens are going to be more than enough to defend another round of units. And Panda Bear is actually continuing to drone up here. He's not stopping at all. He's just going to keep on going. Nothing's going to stop this guy, apparently. As funnily enough, Pride from Integrity Gaming, the first manager that was originally in here, he left and let Zaylan take his place because apparently his internet was dying. So Zaylan was going to come in to make sure nothing lagged. Now Zaylan's lagging. Oops. Oh, I was typing. Zaylan is back. It looks as though the game continues. It's a little bit of an interesting scenario there, as some more Banelings are about to come in. So round number 2 about to start. Spinecrawler's about to finish up here. Fair few links coming forward, and in fact Panda Bear is losing a fair few links to begin with here right now as well. Queens are going to sit on this ramp once again, and they will have transfusers available, and he keeps the Spinecrawler alive with the transfusers. His own lings on the way out here. His own Baneling nest now on the way as well as his Zergling speed. So, I mean, Panda Bear is just in a fab position right now. Still 10 drones ahead, a little bit ahead in army now even, and he picks off another Zergling here. He's going to be able to push this all the way back across the map, especially once his speed finishes. That's the only thing really stopping him from counter-attacking right now, the lack of his own Zergling speed. You can see he's just got way more Zerglings than his opponent right now. The unit tab shows 14 to 10, and Zhao is actually going to try and drone up a little bit. But again, Zergling speed's about to finish, but Panda Bear he's got a ton of minerals to spend as well. What's he going to spend them on? I'm not quite sure. I mean, he could drone up, I guess, if he wanted to. At the same time, he could just make a ton of Zerglings go across the map and win. He's just making a couple of defensive Banelings right now. I mean, he sees his opponent, so it's still on one base. So if his opponent's still on one base, there's no need for him to really go across the map and attack, I suppose, because, you know, there's no base for him to kill off. All he can kill off is going to the main base, which can be risky. Going up a ramp, could be Banelings there. It's definitely not the safest thing to do, as 5 Banelings kind of think about where they're actually meant to be going, because they can't just go in towards this natural expansion on their own. They're just going to spread out right now to maybe try and catch catch a group of lings as they pass on by. Completely lost my words there. Panda Bear getting into the natural there, and he actually does nothing at all. Zhao is down on 16 workers against the 33, and these Banelings are beginning to move forward here for Zhao. He's going to just try and come forward and just try and do whatever he can with these. I guess he's got some more Zerglings to back them up as well, but again, it's going to be so difficult for him to really achieve anything, and these queens on their own with the Spinecrawler should be able to target them down before, you know, anything really happens here. There's a couple of it's going to be brutal. 2 Banelings take down the majority of the Zerglings here for Zhao, and Zhao just dying a slow, painful death right now. Panda Bear looking good, picks off a Baneling here as well. Finally, Zhao begins to expand down at his natural. Evolution Chamber on the way, finishing up here for Panda Bear as well. +1 missile attacks and roach speed on the way now as well. So, I mean, we're just watching the death of a man here. The death of Zhao. I guess you could say R.I.P. Zhao. R.I.P. Sending a few of his Banelings back across the map right now. And I mean, again, what can he do? I mean, he can go back home and hope his opponent just does nothing and lets him maybe be mega greedy. But realistically, that's not going to happen. You can see what Panda Bear Me is waiting for. He's waiting for +1, he's waiting for roach speed, and then he's just going to go with everything, and he's just going to have so many more roaches than his opponent. His economy's just been so much better. He's starting a preferred base as well. He's just making sure he's not going to slip behind in any way at all. And a few Banelings here are going to take down, well, that wasn't even a worthwhile trade, I don't think. 2 Banelings for like 4 Zerglings. And he turns around and gets another couple of Zerglings with another Baneling. And, well, here the first wave of roaches. He hasn't even rated for +1 of roach speed. He's just going to start going for it right now. And, honestly, it's enough. He doesn't need anything else, as there's just not enough Zerglings here to even shut off these roaches, especially as the roaches continue to come across Jouge. He's going to just wait for some more Zerglings and try and go with everything all at the same time. Maybe try and grab us around, but it's just not going to be enough. He's barely got as many Zerglings as his opponent has roaches. 18 Zerglings, 14 roaches. It's a little bit insane, as this Baneling's not even going to make it down the ramp, and Zerglings do come down now. They get possibly the best around they're going to get on a few of these roaches, and I think only a single one ends up dying. And Integrity Gaming stay alive for a little while longer here, and Panda Bear Me puts another point on the scoreboard for them, and takes them to a 2-3 scoreline right now. Still behind, still match point for zeez, as they've got another couple of players to send out, and Panda Bear Me's got a long way to go still. 2 maps is not easy. You know, definitely not easy when your opponents are picking the map and the player to snipe you. It's not an easy job. So GG, Panda Bear Me. He lives to fight in game number 6. Who will he go up against? Well, we'll find out after this quick commercial break, guys. Don't go too far. This is the SC2Improve Team League America. We'll be having a good time and enjoying the show, and we'll be back here as soon as we can with this but once again here, guys, on match point for zeez, and this time they're going to be sending out a Terran player, as we have some good luck funds coming down in the chat at the start of this game. Terran player going to be Jimmy, meaning we're going to have a TVZ, and oh, we better get in game. In the lower left hand corner we have a pink Zerg player from zeez. It's Jimmy, the 3rd player out from them right now, as they're 3-2 up in the upper right hand corner from Integrity Gaming. It's Panda Bear Me, who has to win 2 more maps in a row if he wants to bring his team to victory here today. So we have this SCV coming across the map, and it is definitely going to be a 2 racks here. So, oh no, it's not going to be a 2 racks, sorry, it's going to be an 8-8-8. So we're going to have an 8-8-8 opening out of Jimmy to start things off right now. But look at the scout from Panda Bear Me, immediately just deciding to drone scout here, and well, with his drone scout, I mean, he's just going to find out quite a lot. He's going to be like, well, you've got a pretty early gas, in fact a very early gas, and there's only one thing that this can be for. I mean, 8-8-8, you know, it's kind of meant to get there before Queens are out, because Queens really shut down Reapers quite hard. So I mean, the really hard counter to this is just to go pool first, and boom, pool first on the way down here. Drone actually comes back up from the low ground for Panda Bear Me, and I mean, Jimmy, he's still going to have to invest in the Reaper. You know, there's no reason not to. But this is not the best kind of start, you know, for him. Not in a long way. So this Reaper's going to start up here right now, and it's going to head across the map very soon, as Panda Bear Me will still take his expansion. I mean, no reason not to. Reaper's not going to completely kill off the expansion. So, you know, there's no reason not to expand still. It's just that you do want to get your queens out as fast as you can, and so on. So Bunker's actually coming up here for Jimmy, so he's going to try and bunker up this natural expander. This is something which Panda Bear Me doesn't see coming at all. It's completely blind to him, so a little bit of a mistake, honestly. A little bit of a mistake by not having anything down there to support, especially when he knows some kind of aggressive opening like this is coming. He's got 6 Zerglings on the way. I mean, at the same time, the bunker's not the worst of things. It just means that the Reaper will be able to stay alive for a little bit longer and do a little bit more and get a little bit more done. He'll have like a little safety house to get into. He doesn't actually get that drone kill. A little bit of a mistake there by Jimmy. I mean, so yeah, the bunker's not the worst of issues. As long as he waits for a couple of queens to come out, he should be fine in terms of being able to take that down. It's all about just staying alive, you know, not committing too early onto that you know, bunker, and Panda Bear Me down to see that bunker's finished. So just gotta be a little bit careful as the second Reaper comes over here. 3rd Reaper on the way, and Jimmy probably gonna look to add a factory on back at home sometime soon, because he is building up quite a bit of gas. Queen on the way down, and this will help to turn the Reapers at least into the bunker. This hatchery is falling I guess kind of quickly, but at the same time, he's still going to be able to just, you know, by the time an extra queen comes out, he's going to be able to pick this off. The queens are important because it gives you the range to pick off the SCV, so that it can't just repair infinitely. So with the extra queens, he should be completely fine here, really. As the queen's actually going to get attacked, and ooh, he nearly grabs that one of them reapers. Keeping this queen alive is really important, though. Another queen about to pop out, and there is that other queen, and this reaper has to be very careful right now. Queen coming in from the high ground as well. There's more and more lings come out. Lings on their way across the map for counterattack here. And Jimmy just gets that the bunker up in time, and well, here we go. This queen gonna have to stay at the back, can't really help out. He needs to take down the SCV, which is repairing. That's the real issue here. More lings coming in right now, and Panda Bear Me's gonna be able to clean this up. A nice transfuse on one of these queens to keep it alive. 4 Reapers still alive, as I mean, back at home there's actually nothing to help against these lings, so Jimmy losing quite a bit of mining time right now. These lings are gonna hit here, probably just gonna end up being suicided once the Reaper hit squad comes over here. So 888 to start off game number 6, and Jimmy are going to be able to chase down the rest of these lings right now. I mean, these Reapers are still kind of scary, right? They're still going to be able to move across the map, and you know, they're going to be able to do a bunch here as these Zerglings do all go down, and kaboom, last couple of Zerglings die off there. So I mean, they're still going to have a couple of things they can do. I mean, even 6 Zerglings of speed I don't think is actually that scary against 4 Reapers, especially not when you move commands straight past them. So a little bit of a mistake here actually by Panda Bear Me, not really achieving anything with these Zerglings. I mean, the Reapers are just going to finish these off, and I mean, the Zerglings aren't even going to find a way out, I don't think. Not a single one. Oh, this one lives to tell the tale on 1 HP. Hero Zergling. Or kind of deserter Zergling, I guess, deserting his team. This deserting his team of Zerglings just run off home safe and sound. Gets all the way back here now, and joins up with the rest of its buddies as 4 Reapers are coming across here. And again, with the ability to jump up here, they can maybe trade against the screen quite well, maybe even go for a couple of drone kills. Zerglings are here pretty quickly though to start turning this around. Jimmy back at home, going into a reactive factory, adding on a tech lab barracks, and a starport as well as a second gas. I mean, this is all spotted by Panda Bear Me. He sees the expansion is up. The one thing he doesn't see, I believe, is the 3rd command center at the back here. So he doesn't see that 3rd command center, which is a little bit of a shame. If he'd gone in a little bit further, he would be able to spot that out. But he sees the tech lab on the way, and he sees the starport, and he knows there's a Banshee coming up here. So now he moves a little bit further forward. He gets a little bit closer to finding out the truth about this 3rd command center, but he's still not quite there. It's kind of tantalizingly close as the 3rd base is coming up for Panda Bear Me back at home, starting to spread his creep out on the map. And I mean, the next thing, you know, what Panda Bear Me really needs to focus on here is just making sure he doesn't take too much damage, and there's not too many kind of gaps in his defense. You know, he's going to want to get a spore crawler up here and there, or, you know, have enough queens with an overseer in position. What he doesn't want is for a Banshee to come into the main cloak, and, you know, for it to be ages until he can get some kind of defense there. I actually don't like the fact he's got these herd banshees, herd queen in the main on its own. I think the herd queen would actually be a lot better out in the front here with these queens, because if it was out here, it's got 2 other queens to protect it. So even if it's getting targeted, you can pull it back, the other queens can still do damage, whereas in the main, all you can do is run away. You can never actually fight back, so there's nothing to actually make the banshee stop chasing it. So I'd like to see that queen with the other queens. Again, it's maybe not the biggest of deal if he loses one of these queens here, as he is grouping up with absolutely everything right now. Cloak's about to kick in. There's a fair few Hellions to try and hold off, as the Zerglings do wrap around and get a pretty decent surround. Considering this was on creep, he's actually getting around here. He's actually giving up a surround on a couple of them Hellions, which was a bit of a mistake. Banshee goes down in a matter of seconds, and in fact that's a big mistake there, I feel, by Panda Bear Me. I feel like he had an opportunity there for a moment where he actually had a surround on a couple of these Hellions, but he gave it up to try and get a bigger surround. But that being said and done, he turns this away pretty easily anyway. The first Banshee dies without much of a problem. But you got Zerglings on the way, 1-1 and a Bane in there, so pretty nice altogether here for our Zerg player. He's getting right into the stride of his mid game. And of course, you know, the problem for the town player, he's gone for a build like this. He's committed to these Banshees early on. You know, yes, he's got 3 command centers, but he's given up his early game. He's given up the speed of his upgrades here to be able to do this. As I don't know about Lings continuing to attack forward here, especially into this position. It's just not really worthwhile. Everything backed right into a corner there, and And yeah, these Lings are just going to head back home right now. Definitely the better call, as he's got a third base to run up. And yeah, he's got a third base to run up. I mean, the creep spread's insane. It's actually just starting to reach the middle of the map right now. He's got so many active tumors, and that's just going to make it really annoying to just clean up for Jimmy, as it starts to spread in different directions as well. So really starting to get a grip on this map of the creep. Banshees and Hellions coming across the map now, and of course these are a great way to start cleaning that creep and pushing it back a little bit before your first Stim Marines come out with the medevacs. We see engineering bays on the way right now, and armor on the way too, so potentially looking to just maybe, like, I mean, obviously he's not going to be for 2-2. I mean, maybe he just wants to get his mech weapons going in case he does play with the heavy Hellbat style, which looks likely right now with the number of Hellions he's continued to make. Nice scans going down here, continuing to clean out a whole side of this creep. And Queen's trying to turn this army away once again. Zergling's out here now, going to try and hunt down, maybe look for us around, a few of them peeling away, and looking as though they're going to try and hit the natural while the Hellions and Banshees are absent. I'm going to come in here and try and hit this natural right now. But I mean, there's a bunker here, there's a Banshee still behind as well. And we've actually got Hellbats and a Banshee moving forward right now, looking to pick something off. We do have Mutalisks coming out though, and Mutalisks coming out means that these units are just going to be completely forfeit here. And yeah, I think correct decision to move the Hellions back into Hellion mode and allowing them to get away a little bit faster here. However, that being said, we're still seeing some of them go down, and they're going to be chased right to the edge of the creep at least. As you know, Panda Bear's been pretty good on re-establishing his creep with Greens quite quickly. Would have been maybe a little bit of his chasing that one last Hellion, he doesn't quite get it. Maybe the only thing he's missing is re-establishing a bit of his creep over on this side. As Mules are now in the main base, you know what, there isn't really that much anti. Yeah, I mean, yes, there's Stim Marines, but there's just not that many of them. He's going to turn around right here, and he's going to lose 2 Mutas, maybe. He actually only loses 1, and now SCVs are just going to all die while trying to build a turret. And Panda Bear me with these Mutalisks, there's just nothing to kind of go against him right now. Marines die as they pop out of the barracks. A ton of SCVs coming into the main base to try and build this turret, sorry. There's just not enough, and they continue to fall right now, and Panda Bear Me's doing some serious damage. He's got a ton of units ready to come in on the natural as well. A lot of Lings, a lot of Banes. He's now going to turn around, he's going to start picking off these Banshees, picking off the Hellions with the Mutalisks. And, you know, once he does that, there's nothing here to defend. So the Lings are going to stream in, the Baners are going to stream in as well. The turret goes down, and everything's going to die in the natural. He doesn't even bother trying to pull away the majority of his SCVs. Baners continue to roll forward, but so do the Mutalisks just come in through the sky, and GG is called. Panda Bear Me takes 2 in a row to take us to an ace match here between Integrity Gaming and zeez. This has been a pretty great match so far. I mean, everything you'd want in a clan war. Ups and downs for both teams. You know, definitely a lot of momentum originally there for zeez. They were 3-1 up, but now here they are, 3-3, and Panda Bear Me isn't looking set to stop just yet. So, game number 7 is what it all comes down to here, guys. The last 6 games all come down to this 7th game, and it will be decided on our remaining map, which will be merry-go-round for game number 7. And we'll be going into this after this quick commercial break, guys. If you're enjoying the show, hit the follow button, and we'll be back here in a few moments with Game 7, the ace match between zeez and Integrity Gaming. Welcome back, guys, to SC2Improve Team League America for our final match of the evening. It's going to be back to ZVZ as Celium N takes on Panda Bear Me in the ace match here between zeez and Integrity Gaming. Yeah, not too much on the line, I suppose, at the end of the day. It's just all about, you know, how high you finish in the table. At this point, neither team can make the playoffs, but you know, both these teams will probably want to, you know, get the best score possible for themselves. So let's see what's going to happen here in Game 7 of this best of 7 all kill, starting in the lower left-hand side, the lower 6 o'clock position here from Integrity Gaming. He's taken 2 maps in a row to bring his team this far. It's Panda Bear Me. And his opponent in the upper right-hand corner. Why do I always have music disabled on NA? I don't know. In the upper right-hand corner, his opponent from zeez. It's Celium N. Alright, so merry-go-round here for our final map. One of the less popular maps in the map pool as both players open with that 15 pool on the way. And both players continue to drone up afterwards as well. So Hatchery's going to be on the way very soon, and we'll see if either player is going to rush into that gas, or whether we're going to see some gasless ZVZ this time around, perhaps here on merry-go-round. Again, one of the 2 free-player maps. We already saw Catalina, where we saw PVZ on in this best of 7. And that's the other free-player map in this in the WCS map pool right now. Hatchery comes down on either side of the map right now, and sometimes I feel like I should stop saying right now so much, because it just feels as though I say it quite a lot. Anyways, it's been a fun set of games so far tonight, guys. It really has. It's been, you know, we've had, you know, pretty simple games. Nothing, you know, no games which have dragged on. I've been like, oh, well, this end. We've seen some games where we've nearly seen some comebacks. You know, it's been close. It's been exciting. It's been different. So really really great games, really fun cast as well. If you're wondering where you can check out the rest of our cast, if you've you know, if you want to, if this is your first time checking us out and you're wondering what else we've cast, you know, want to see some other matches, you can check them all out at youtube.com/SC2Improve. They're all playlisted for your ease of access, so they should be all pretty easy to find. The VOD of this should be uploaded there probably tomorrow night. It depends how. I've got a bit of a backlog right now because I had a ton of matches on the weekend, because I casted like 6 best 7s or something over Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, there was that. But so I'm trying to catch up right now with that. But yeah, this should be on by tomorrow night. I think that's about as much more time as we need. There's a couple of links do come in here for Celia Men to get that little bit of a scout off. We see this so often in ZVZ. Just the first 2 links coming across to try and get a bit of a scout, and Queen's actually going to be able to pick off one of these perhaps, as it gets very close, and in fact it gets both of them in the end. Queen with 2 kills, not so bad, as we do have gas on, and well, we have Zerglin speed on the way for both players here. Celia Men, the first player to put the Balin nest down, and we can't expect it to be too far behind here for Panda Bear Me either. He's got that 50 gas right now, and there it is coming up in the main base for both of these guys. So Balin nests on the way, and we're going to be seeing here very soon whether one of these guys wants to get aggressive while the other's going to stay a little bit more defensive in these Ling Bling wars. 8 Zerglings already on the way for Seal Men. I mean, not really too much of a commitment right now. Coming up this ramp, he just checks here. You can see Panda Bear Me clicks on that Balin nest just in case it's a roach roar, and just in case he's all of a sudden rushing a bunch of roaches, because, you know, against Ling Bane, of course, you just want Ling Bane of your own, but against maybe some mega fast roaches, you're going to need a couple of spine crawlers to help out, because your Ling Bane, you know, it just needs a little bit more of a backbone to it, and 2 spine crawlers can basically make the difference. So clicking on that Balin nest, making sure it's not a roach horn, and knowing exactly what he's playing against right now, as the first few lings are beginning to cross the map. But at the same time, you have a ton of Zerglings on the way out for Panda Bear Me. Both players actually supply blocked right now. Not so bad for Panda Bear Me, as he's going to be on supply blocked right now, whereas the Celia Men still has his overlords only just starting in the production tab, and coming out here with a bunch of lings. And again, it's this game of cat and mouse between these Zerglings. Chase one over to the other side of the map, and then chase them all the way back, get chased all the way back, and it just continues like this throughout the game. And Celia Men here comes into his base. 3 Zerglings coming in for Panda Bear Me, looking to maybe bait out a Balin hit, and he's still trying to do that right now while getting a maybe looking for a Queen kill. And in fact, he's got a lot of Zerglings here, and he's actually got the ability to come in and go for this Queen. Zerglings coming down from the main. He's not got the Queen just yet, but now Balins are coming in also. Balins about to finish up here at the same time. Oh, one Balin makes the mineral line. Balins all over the place. Zerglings still trying to grab themselves a Queen kill. I mean, they've managed to get one here in the end. These 2 Zerglings still just kind of splitting up wherever they can. A bunch more lings popping out right now for Celia Men. He's fallen behind in the work count a little bit during this. And, wow, I mean, very lucky that he only had 1 Balin and ended up actually getting into his main, as this Zergling is finally going to get caught and finally going to die. So, here we are actually at the end of this. 39 drones apiece. Alair finished and Spire started here for Celia Men, so looking to head into the Mutalisk play, whereas Alair is only just on the way for Panda Bear Me, looking as though he would like to here. Going to Mutalisk play himself. He's got 4 gases taken, and both of these guys are probably going to be thinking about a 3rd base in the very near future, as Panda Bear Me actually comes out to grease Celia Men's lings. And the front of his base, chasing him all the way through the middle of the map once again. Still no Spire put down for Panda Bear Me. He's making a bunch more Zerglings right now. Yeah, I wonder what he's going to try and get up to here. Because the Balin comes in, just a single extra Balin here for Celia Men. these things are going to come forward and they're going to actually force the cancel there. A couple of bayonets of his own continue to come forward too, but there's a spine caller here, and this spine caller will be able to pick off one of them very quickly, very easily. This bayonet coming around the other side and just missed the opportunity to go for a big connection there, and in the end it does explode, but it doesn't quite get the connection we're probably hoping for. Spire has now started for Panda Bear Me, the third base on the way for both these players as well, and Panda Bear Me now being the mouse, being chased back across to his own side of the map. And again, Celiamen is in hot pursuit here, going all the way, chasing this down. Just trying here to look for maybe a cancel on this hatchery. A couple more bins continue to come across, and maybe nearly getting a connection. So Bane's about to come in here from Celiamen, as we actually haven't seen any Utilisks in production just yet, unless I've completely missed them. No, we haven't. But Flyer Carapace has started, and that upgrade being a little bit faster here for Celiamen can definitely be a little, can definitely change things, as it looks as though Panda Bear Me just cleans this up. He's got a ton of Utilisks going to be coming out here very soon. Despite having the later Spire, in the end here, he's going to end up with, well, actually exactly the same number of Utilisks. 10 Mutas going to be on the way momentarily here for our blue Zerg player. And again, he is a little bit behind on our Carapace upgrade, and that will affect him a little bit here. You've got to think about this. I mean, that's going to give Celiamen a lot of time where he can attack, and he can take the Mutalisk fights, but Panda Bear Me cannot. So it gives Celiamen a lot more freedom on the map to do whatever he sees fit to do. We have a Ling run by coming into the main base. Looks as though he's going to get cleaned up pretty quickly here. Goes for some drones. I feel as though the better choice may have just been to go for the Queen there. But well, I mean, in the end, he gets cleaned up nonetheless, and Ling's actually coming across here for Celiamen once again. So here we go now, Muta versus Muta, as Panda Bear Me flies in. He's going to turn them Zerglings around, and a bunch of Mutalisks coming down this right-hand side of the map here for Celiamen, coming in towards the natural. Going to try and do a little something here. The Zerglings getting cut off before they reach this base. These Mutas getting in here pretty quickly and going to be able to start doing some damage. That +1 Fly Carapace hasn't finished just yet. These Mutas are going to chase for a little while. They find an Overlord to pick off as well. Actually supply blocking Celiamen for a little while, and again he's got no Overlords in production, so there's a pretty heavy supply block. But look at this, Zerglings is wrapping around this third base, and this could be a dead third base here, and a dead third base would mean a lack of gas income and a Mutalisk increase, or more Mutalisk coming out from from Celiamen and from Panda Bear Me. Panda Bear Me just keeps it alive, but for how much longer, you've got to ask ourselves, as at the same time he's actually getting ransacked in his natural by these Mutalisks once again. He's going to try and take a fight here, but his opponent's got +1 Fire Carapace and he does not. He's actually got a couple more Mutas, so I guess he can kind of afford to fly after this for a little while. Oh, but he's left some of his Mutas behind, and that's a little bit scary. He's actually on the counter-attack though, and he gets the third base at the same right now, and well, the third base dies over here as well, so third bases are dead for both players, so this game actually continues on in a pretty even state of affairs. There's a ton more Mutalisks still on the way out for Celiamen, 7 more in the production tab at one time here, and he's losing a lot of, Celiamen's still losing a lot of Overlords. There's a lot more to still be picked off around the map. You have just flying past a single Mutalisk there, a little bit of a mistake. Neither player really committing into Spore Crawlers for defense just yet, as we might very well have an engagement, and here we go. We're just going to see the Mutas fight each other, and Panda Bear Me, I think he's realising he doesn't quite have enough to fight this, and he's actually going to start trying to get out of there as fast as he can, and that leaves us with 19 Mutalisks apiece. Panda Bear Me straight back into Mutalisk production. Zerglings running by into this natural expansion here, and now into the main base as well. Going to look to do some more damage as Spore Claw has been invested into by Panda Bear Me. Third base on the way back up for Celiamen, but no such thing on the way for Panda Bear Me just yet. A big wave of Zerglings on the way towards that third. Mutalisks will be able to intercept these, and these Zerglings are going to have to change direction and try and get away. But it looks as though Panda Bear Me is going to be out of luck there, and Celiamen is going to be on top of things. Mutalisks coming in and coming in to help out. He's going to try and get whatever damage he can get done on his hatchery, and we'll maybe try and hit it with another round of Zerglings in a few moments' time. Panda Bear Me seems to be at a constant kind of 10 supply disadvantage. He's actually behind about 10 workers right now. So I mean, in the long run here, he's in a little bit of trouble, especially considering his opponent's third base has gone back up and his is still not there yet. He's actually starting to fall a little bit further behind in the supply right now as well, so Panda Bear Me is starting to look as though he's in a little bit of trouble. And, well, Mutalisks are edging forwards here for Celiamen. He comes over and he's actually just going to clear out these extractors right now. May as well, you know, just in case that base does come back up, force another couple of drones to be used to remake them extractors. as Panda Bear Me is focused on trying to stop some of the Lings getting into his main base. At the same time as the Natural, which is still under threat from the Mutalisks of Celia Men. The Lings try and come around the left hand side from Panda Bear Me. They're going to try and hit the third base, but again, they're just not going to quite be able to do any damage here, because already Celia Men, look at this, he's tricked him. He's said there's no Zerglings here, and then all of a sudden Zerglings everywhere, and he's going to be able to clean this up. He's not going to be able to keep his queen alive, so a little bit of a loss there, but not too much. And I mean, the real problem is Panda Bear Me just can't get any momentum in the game right now. He can't take down the third base. The longer this third base is up, the more the gas income favours our Purple's Zerg player, and the longer the gas income favours the Zerg one player more than the other, the more ahead they're going to get in Mutalisks, and the more ahead they get in Mutalisks, the more the game begins to spiral out of control here. And I mean, that third base only just been re-established now, so it's still going to be quite some time before that comes up. Celia Men doesn't hesitate at all to go straight to +2 Flyer Carapace. Load of Lings coming into the main base once again here, looking again just to clean out as many drones as he can. Panda Bear Me is actually over 20 drones down now at this point, and over 20 drones down is, I mean, not good, as Mutas are going to fly into each other, and oh, Panda Bear Me's on move command. He's just going to have to fight now. He's right amidst this Muta flock. But I just don't think he's got enough Mutas. It's kind of close, but he is down by 4. Depends how many more coming in reinforcements, and well, it looks as though it's just going to be GG. Zeez, Rip Zeez, Celia Men take their 4th match of the league. They finish the league on a 4-5 score. Integrity lose, and they finish the league on a 5-4 score. Both these teams ending in the middle of the tables, and a great series for them to finish off the season on. And a thank you to both of them for taking part of the season. So hopefully these guys had fun, and I hope you guys had fun as well. And it was definitely a fun series to cast. So always great when we see an ace match coming out of two teams, and you know, pretty quick 7 games actually, considering it's literally, we started 2 hours ago. Pretty quick 7 games in all honesty. So yeah, so right now that is it. It's over. Integrity and Rip Zeez as they finish off their SC2Improve Team League America Season 1 campaign here. And again, it's a middle of the table performance for both of the teams. Integrity ever so slightly higher than their opponents here, Rip Zeez. Again, I mean, we're going to have more SC2Improve Team League America matches throughout the week. We're going to be bringing you the final matches from each of the groups. And then next week we'll be starting to head into the playoffs, where everything starts to heat up a little bit, and the best teams go at each other to try and get into the prize pool of a total of $1,350 worth of prizes. Isn't that just insane? Well, if you ask me, it is. Guys, I want to thank a few more guys, Legime, Commodores, and Aliaska. Never going to say that one. For hitting the follow button here tonight, especially in the last hour or so. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast for you. If you've enjoyed the show, do hit the follow button. And you can also check us out on Twitter at SC2_Improve, or at Facebook.com/SC2Improve. If you want to check out any VODs, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, YouTube.com/SC2Improve. And for all SC2Improve Team League news and information for our other tournaments which are taking place, then you should head on over to SC2Improve.net to see how what's up, to see what's happening. Again, a shout out to our sponsors, Zowie Gear. You can check them out at zowiegear.com. And yeah, you can check us out. You can check out Let's Kung Fu at youtube.com/filthyrake as well. Big thank you to both of them. Again, if you really enjoyed the show and you want to do more than just follow, you can subscribe to the channel, which will give you a bunch of benefits. Starting next week, I'm going to be trying to do some fun game nights as well, like arcade game nights. Subs will get first picks into the kind of first chances into the lobby and stuff like that, etc. Blah blah blah. Whatever, boring talk, guys. Thank you for tuning in. 4-3 victory for Rip Zeez tonight. GG's, well played. And until next time, have a great day, have a great time. And Rip Zeez is coming down in the chat. And with that, I will leave you. And what song shall I leave you with tonight? What song shall I leave you all with tonight? We've not had this on for a while. Right, guys. Good night. Have fun. Thanks for watching.